This is the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast, and I'm your host, Trudy Simmons from the Daisy Chain Group, providing platforms for women entrepreneurs to be seen and heard. This platform is for women entrepreneurs that want to hear the real stories of what it takes to be yourself and run a business with all the different hats that you might have to wear. These are the stories of the tenacious, the rebellious, and the resilient women that are working towards the future that they want to build for themselves and their families. Hello and welcome to the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast. I am here today with Lynda Fussell from the Flow Academy. Lynda, thank you so much for being in Shine On You Crazy Daisy Book 2. Very excited. Please tell us about your business.
Hi, Trudy. Thank you so much. Firstly, thank you for all the amazing things that you do, but also for the opportunity to be in the book. So my business, the Flow Academy, is about living life in flow. It's about pulling out all our things that we want to do, and instead of fighting with everything, just going with the way things roll and moving with what's easy, what makes sense, what works for us, and particularly just working with nature, the seasons. If it's winter, slow down. If it's summer, get out there, be bright and summery like the daisies. Yay! You know, it's that kind of thing.
Oh, I love all of that. You make me feel so calm. In your chapter, you talk about going on holiday with your children, your best friend, and you left that holiday saying that you woke up and you came back and you resigned from your job. What led you to that decision?
I tell you, Trudy, I am incredibly focused and hardworking, and I get stuck into things. And then when you take a break, and it was a 3-week break. In those days, we always used to take 3-week holidays, you know, a week to unwind, a week to enjoy, and then a week to think about going back to work. And I was lying on the beach in Tenerife, and then we were in Tenerife for a bit, and then we were in Spain. And it was one of those, this is actually living. This is doing things in the moment. And it was actually getting back in flow. It was watching that the seasons were out and the people that were working there were doing things that made people happy, you know, working in the restaurants, doing deck chairs, whatever they were doing. And I kind of looked at my life and went, what the heck am I doing? I don't even know who my kids are because I'm working so hard. I spend time with my kids, I feed them, I do that kind of stuff, but I'm not living with them. I'm not interacting and making fun decisions every day or even every week. It was just like work, 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 work. So it was a wake up. Hello, there's more to life.
So you literally came home and resigned.
I came home from my holiday and I walked into the office, and within 2 days I'd handed in my notice. I worked my notice period. I was out of there. You know, one of the things I didn't really talk about in the book was, you know, keeping it all tight, but I hadn't anticipated the impact that would have on my kids. So I did it for my kids, and my kids were quite panicked because they knew I worked because I paid all the bills.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'd resigned, they thought, well, mum's going to be standing on a street corner with a board around her neck going, oh, I need money. And they hadn't sort of trusted the flow and that things would work. I mean, I kind of did it just with I'm not doing this anymore without really thinking it through, but it was the best thing I did.
Wow. God, the impact that you can have on someone with these big decisions that are made. I wouldn't have thought about that. That's amazing for your
No,
kids.
they were panicked, and they were quite small then, so it was really interesting. They were sort of, you know, end of primary school.
Mm.
Sort of, yeah, and they were, yeah.
What I loved as well is that you said that you quit and then you decided you're going to move back to the UK from South Africa, and that because you wanted to put your family first. And you said that you did that with the confidence that anything was possible. So you
Yeah.
made the move, but what did that period of time teach you? And actually, from what you've just said about your children being panicked, you having that confidence, did they gain that confidence?
Yes,
Mm.
yes, because what happened, you know, when I left that job, and I wouldn't talk to anybody. So for 6 weeks, I just sat quietly at home and just tidied up and went through things and cleared out life and just had a look at what I wanted to do. And things started happening. You know, that's when I set up my first business, because people started contacting me. And the next thing, I was able to choose what I wanted to do, but I got busy. And then the kids saw that it was possible, that anything was possible, and that I was really happy doing what I was doing, and I was doing a piece of work over there and a bit of work over here, and it was all great. So when a few years later, there were a number of things that happened, but a few years later, when I made that decision to move back to the UK, it was, it's okay, it'll work out. Trust in the universe, trust in myself, trust in the family unit. We can do this. And I talked, by then the kids were a bit bigger, because when we moved back, they were, I want to say 11 and 13. So they were that little bit bigger. And it was a case of, right, we're going to do this and we're going to go and see what happens. And I took them out of school. We arrived here in September. And my priority was to get a job and then find a school and then find somewhere to live. And I had no other plan other than that. So I'd come over a few months earlier, it's connected with a few people, but I had nothing signed up. I had nothing organized. We landed here with our suitcases, and we literally had a couple of suitcases. And we went and stayed with some amazing people. We got some family friends who are just awesome. Stayed with them, for a few months. And I just started looking for work. Started reconnecting with people, talking to others, seeing what I wanted to do. And it was a case of whatever. And when things started happening with the one company that I did join, it was then, okay, so now we need a school. So then I started looking for schools, and then I started looking for a house. And I ended up with 2 schools. If I got the job, I decided I want to come to Yorkshire. Having traveled around, that was my going to go to Yorkshire, regardless of whether I got the job or not. And we then chose 2 schools. And if I didn't get the job, they were going to go to the one school. And if I did get the job, they'd go to another school. So I couldn't even think about housing until I knew if I had a job.
Wow.
And then you went with it. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that trust. What a level of trust that a lot of people don't have in not just what's possible, but that it is possible.
It is possible. Anything is possible. You know what? Just if you keep moving forward step by step, in Africa we have a saying, how do you eat an elephant? It's one mouthful at a time. You never eat an elephant, but it's, it doesn't matter how big the problem is, just start. And I have the saying that I use with all my clients: soonest startest, soonest done. So it doesn't matter what you've got to do something. Just do something towards it, and make sure that you're just doing something, every day towards where you want to go. And before you know it, you're there.
Well, you know that I agree with everything you're saying. So it is that feeling of chunking it down and not making things unachievable, make them achievable. Yeah. And but with that confidence behind it and trust in yourself and universally what's happening around you. I love that. With the tapestry of jobs that you've had in your life, and they just seem to have been such a tapestry, and then it perfectly woven together, and it gets you to where you get to. But how does that help you with your family and making good choices for the future?
Okay, that's a huge question, actually. So my tapestry of jobs are really just the way, I'm going to say the chips have fallen, but it's the case of, if an opportunity comes up, take it, have a look at it, explore it. Just don't, obviously, within things that are in legal limits and things that are aligned to what there's a few things there's a few, for me, criteria that need to be around that, but just explore things. And I see, so I'm a little side track here. I see so often that people go, and I've had people say this to me: you give so much away for nothing. But if I don't explore, I'll never know. And you can't start saying to people, well, I'm not going to do that piece of work, I'm not going to attend this meeting if you don't pay me for it. I want to know what's going on. So it's explore and see what happens. And it's, it's that questioning. So life for me is about questioning, curiosity, all those kind of, buzzwords that we use in coaching, but they have been critical in my life, and they are absolutely embedded in my kids. They know this, and they will ask questions, and they'll come back and ask me things and see what my thoughts are on it, and we'll talk amongst each other. And it's so wonderful to see. And I very rarely say no. If there's any way I can make it happen, I'll say yes. And sometimes I have to prioritize and go, I really want to do that, but I can't do it now, but I will try and do that. I could do it in this time frame. Does that work for you? And if it doesn't, well, it's not meant to be. But if it does, then I definitely go with it. And I had, this is probably not longer than you wanted, but I had a small sort of example on this over the weekend, where I knew I was asked to babysit for my daughter. They had a wedding on Saturday. And I naively in my head just kind of went, yeah, that's the evening. That's fine. That's what we talked about. And when I, in the morning, woke up, I had loads of things I wanted to do. My daughter phoned me at about 9:30 and said, just checking on plans for the day. And I went, yeah. And okay, so we have to leave by 12. And so could you be here at 11:30? And and I was like, okay, so there's my whole day. Just like, that wasn't what I was planning. But that's what life's about. It wasn't a case of ever going, I can't do that. I've got other plans. It's a case of how can I make this work? And it's just adapting. So go over there, do what I'm doing, take young Freddie with me, take the dogs with me, go and do what we want to do. Or just say, you know what, this is more important, and just sit down and chill. And there's nothing nicer. I was there at 11:30. I got home at 11:30 at night, or 11:15 at night. So it was a 12-hour day. But it was bliss. It was absolute bliss, because everything I thought I was going to be working on and be busy with, I was just chilled and playing, doing granny things, talking to babies and playing with the dogs and just chilled.
It's how you look at anything, isn't it? When you look at things as an opportunity and a challenge or not a challenge, and the outcome that you can get from saying yes to something. Within your boundaries,
within the boundaries,
then everything is an opportunity for you to grow and change and adapt in a way that suits you and your business for the future.
Absolutely. You just never know what's out there. And people say to me, I'm really conscious you've been doing all this work. And it's like, yeah, but I love what I'm doing. And if it helps you, that's great. And if we have something future together, that's great. And if we don't, I've learned something out of it, you've gained something out of it, and let's move on.
Amazing. What's one lesson that you've learned that every entrepreneur should know?
Keep moving forward. Take action. Absolutely take action. So I wrote a book with Jack Canfield, and that was also, my chapter on there was about action. And it, all the things around taking action. The little root word of action is act. So if you don't know it, act now. Act on it. Pretend you know it. Become an actor. Do something. And what's the activity you can do? Act is in so many things. Just every time you've got something to do, just do something. Just keep moving forward. Know what you're aiming for and just do it. Just do something and learn from it. If it doesn't work, it's okay. It's not a failure. Hey, I've learned something, and I can't remember all the words, but there's the whole story works around. That doesn't a failure. That's just a now go back and try something else. React on it.
I love that. Take action at all times. I think that's moving forward. What's your favorite piece of business software?
Oh, easy. Kajabi. There's no doubt. Kajabi has been my absolute lifesaver. So for those that don't know, Kajabi is how would you describe it? It's a web platform, but it's you can host, you can do your website on it. So you can host your website on it. It's an SEO platform. You can do your emails from it. You obviously can host courses and have all those engagement on the courses. You can do your landing pages. You can do your invoicing. You can do everything. It's the most amazing tool that I've got, because everything's all in one place and I can use it. You know what? I know I'm fairly tech savvy, but I get scared when it's building websites and things, but this, it's so easy. I can do it. And that's like, yes.
Now, I use Kajabi as well, and it's that all-encompassing, all-in-one system that can give any entrepreneur what they need to be able to get themselves out there and get visible really quickly.
Absolutely. And they keep developing it. The times I've been with them, they keep adding things on, and you kind of go, oh, I didn't think about that. That's brilliant. But sometimes they come up and say, is anybody wanting this? And then you get involved in the design of what that looks like. I got involved in the design of their newsletter section. So that was just brilliant. You're meeting with the developers and the techies, and it was great.
They just added on the podcast platform, and here you are. So
I know, it's amazing.
Lynda, thank you so much for your story and for being a part of the Shiny Crazy Daisy book.
Trudy, it's an absolute pleasure. I love everything that you do, and it was an honor to be part of the book. It's an honor to talk to you, and I just love it. Thank you so much. Keep shining. Keep
shine on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast. If you've liked what you've seen today, then please make sure that you click the subscribe button to this channel to see more inspiration and motivation as more of these stories keep coming out. And if you want even more, click on the link below this video and go and have a look at the series of books, Shine On You Crazy Daisy, and get even more inspiration and motivation for you and your business.